We have a Bank of Japan decision in a couple of hours, Joel. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, so it's been a highly anticipated decision. I suspect that the market will take some time to digest the decision over the coming days. It has been interesting in the sense that this is a central bank that historically is exceptionally reluctant to tighten policy. We've seen little tweaks. Back in March, we saw something. Then the central bank paused again. Heading into the decision, there's a kind of a coin toss, a little bit more edging towards a rate hike today. But the way things look, we actually would be surprised if they go in that direction. Again, they very well could. But given a number of factors, including ongoing concerns about growth within both the Japanese economy and the global economy, and then you look at kind of real wage growth in Japan is still in negative territory. I don't know that necessarily the Bank of Japan needs to make that move to raise rates. And on top of everything else, the most important point heading into this decision is the markets have kind of done the BOJ a favor. When the yen is super weak, and it has been at near 40-year lows, there's a lot of pressure on the central bank to need to intervene on behalf of the yen. And over the past few weeks, with everything that's gone on with disruption in global markets, there's been this massive wave of broad-based dollar outflows. We've seen a carry unwind, and that has resulted in an appreciation in the yen as people are kind of exiting risk and going back into this funding currency, which is the yen. So the price action has kind of acted like an interest rate hike. It's done the BOJ a favor. And so heading in, I would, if I were, considering what to do, I would say that the central bank, and given their track record, would be more easy decision to remain on hold right now. Of course, again, they could raise rates, but I don't think that will be accompanied by any uber hawkishness. We already know that the central bank is moving and winding down the asset purchases, so that's already expected. And so that's kind of where things line up, which sets up some interesting possibilities as far as when we look at the price action.
Yeah, so talk to me about the technical perspective you see on the JPY.
Yeah, so all of this, sets up in a good way with the chart. I'll sort of go through, but we like to kind of consider the balance of risks heading into any event risk, and the balance of risks right now show that the pricing is favoring a hike. So that's kind of priced in. And the expectation is that if that is the case, that you would see some yen upside. So with all of that already priced in, then it leaves the balance of risk tilted towards, more kind of a reaction the other way if there's a letdown and the central bank just remains on hold, which they do quite a bit. And if that is the reaction, then it points towards dollar appreciation, dollar upside against the yen. Technically speaking, we've seen a massive correction out from the several weeks back. We saw, again, we're at near 40-year highs. The market's come back significantly, all the way back down to the 152 area. 152 is significant on a technical basis. If you look at the medium and longer term chart, you can see that 152 going back to 2023 was a previous resistance turn support in that 152 area. And that's an area where we've come down right now into this correction. We've kind of tested that area, and we're kind of trying to perhaps look to find some support by that previous resistance. All of that kind of lines up with this idea that if the BOJ does hold, or even if they hike, but they kind of continue to kind of lean back towards uber accommodation or trying to be accommodative, that it does lend itself to dollar upside. So the trend, technically speaking, Mark, has been very bullish dollar yen. We just seeing a correction, and so if you look at the trend is your friend. We're in a correction within a very significant, very clear-cut uptrend. And so this would probably be an area here around 152 on a weekly close basis, let's say, where you'd be looking for a higher low for a bullish continuation in favor of dollar upside and yen downside, and this ongoing yield differential play that favors the dollar. So that's what we're looking for with dollar yen right now.
Yeah, it should be an interesting play today. Thanks for your analysis, Joel.
My pleasure, Mark. Always good to be here.
Import the Black Bull Markets calendar to your email to receive alerts about upcoming economic events in your inbox, enabling you to plan your positions in advance and seize trading opportunities. Follow the link in the description to get started.